Cockpit. Actually, that would be quite fun. For about.
Sorry, I didn't. That wasn't me. That was actually my pet goat. So we are actually here on the grid, getting ready to go for the manual formation up here for the Clio Cup race 2 obviously of the evening, but race 8 of the season of a total of 12, which we will be undertaking here for the Clio Cup season 10 here on Project Cars 2 at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5. And what a race we had in the first race! Some incredible action between 2 of the 3 championship contenders for this season. They'll be starting from the back for this manual grid formation lap. And Ryan, obviously, with John Boy and Lightblade having such a commanding pace in the first race, obviously got out in the front, having quite high grid positions. It's not going to be easy for them in this race too, is it?
No, definitely not. I mean, we've also increased the length of the race, so it should be about a 35, 40-minute race.
Yes.
So it should be a bit more interesting. So we're just waiting for the guys to get into the grid order, which we're waiting for DJ Phil Green, which is here. Then we should have Smokey, AVU Benny, Ricky, Charlie. Charlie's nowhere to be seen. Charlie's now dropping back.
Yeah,
so Charlie and then Ozzy. Then Puppet Rex.
Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on here. We got the right number of drivers, so it's not like anybody's dropped out and left us with a bit of a predicament.
John, Mike. So we're just waiting for Charlie to get in the right position. If we can get Charlie forward, Charlie ahead of Ozzy, and Paul further behind. Okay, so Paul's just pulled out the way.
So we've got Emma in the comments saying good luck all. Also Jazzman, one of the stars here at Motive on ACC. He says, I love this game so much, where it all started for me, where my esports journey began to being the fastest driver in the Middle East and to the McLaren G Challenge Grand Final 2020. What a game, he says. Jazzman, if you fancy it, mate, you're more than welcome to jump back on Project Cars 2 and race with us. I mean, we've got the leagues on the Clio Cup on Monday, we've got the touring cars on Thursday, and we're also running the GT5s on Friday as well. Be great to add you to the ranks of the guys out on track here. But yeah, obviously, our Project Cars 2 for me will always have a very special place in my heart, because it's really where my sim racing journey started as well. I mean, you can call Gran Turismo a sim racer game, but it's not really. For me, Project Cars 2 is where, yeah, kind of like I sort of turn my attention more to realism than just gaming. So yeah, I can totally relate to you on that one. And it's just such a full-on racing simulator, but it's not too simulatory. It's got that balance perfect, I think, between serious but also casual. It's a great casual sim race, this game.
We've got everyone in order, and we're about to go green as soon as DJ Phil goes.
Oh no! What's going on here, boys? Come on! I'm lost for words. Smokey Devil is down to the back of the pack, and DJ Phil crossing the line to start the race, and that was chaos. But we've got Charlie in second ahead of Alfonso. He's got ahead of Ricky into Sandoval, and DJ Phil he loses the car. Wow, this is unbelievable stuff. DJ Phil spun it there coming to the first corner, but held on to the lead.
To another formation lap.
Maybe they have. Maybe they're all just backing it off. Potentially somebody's taking control of this in the game chat.
Would be one of the leading boys, because Smokey is speeding up quite quick compared to the other guys, and he's jumping forward.
The thing is,
so we're going to have another formation lap. So this has been run quite well by the drivers.
I don't think they are. I think, well, actually, maybe. I'll tell you what. Hats off to whoever's marshalling them in the game chat here. I reckon it's either Lightblade or Ozzy. Lightblade or Ozzy, probably. Yeah, who's coordinating this in the game chat. So whoever's doing this, fair play. This is absolutely top-notch stuff from whoever's marshalling this. But yeah, we're going to go for one more formation lap here, and we're going to have a 22 lap race.
They've all complained about this race being too long. They want it to another formation lap. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
DJ Phil, and then
cold
we should have
tyres.
Smokey, AVU Alfonso, Ricky,
A cold tyre,
Charlie,
Monaco Clio Grand Prix.
Ozzy, Hot Pepper Rex, Connor Boyland, Cobb, Jay, Light, John, and Mike. So yeah, that's all in order. So they are actually going for another restart.
Emma, they're informing us in the chat that they're doing another formation lap, like we didn't. Yeah, thanks, Emma. We kind of guessed that one. But yeah, here we are then. So DJ Phil's still leading us around. Hopefully nobody's got damage on the car. Fingers crossed that everybody's be able to keep themselves out
I think
of trouble.
the only one that might have had damage would have been DJ Phil from Smokey from behind, which would have probably been damage from AVU Alfonso, because he was right up behind him at the start.
Yeah, he certainly was.
If DJ Phil is listening to the stream, he can go as soon as he comes out the final corner if he wants to.
Yeah, he probably will. Or I imagine he might even have Lightblade or Ozzy giving him a 3-2-1 or something here. But yeah, these guys now are going to get underway, and hopefully we'll have no dramas. I think it all stemmed from, I think Smokey lost it coming out of the last corner, didn't he? And then I don't think he was.
I think Smokey got
caught out. Did he get rear-ended? Well, whatever the case, here we are. We're getting underway.
Green.
Yeah, we're racing. DJ Phil put to the floor, and we've already got somebody attacking. Ozzy Albies right on the back of Charlie Goff. A bit of a gap between the two packs here. You've got Park Pooper pulling away from Cobb. Yeah, he said in the chat that he's got to drive through. So he's have to serve that straight away there. But DJ Phil, Smokey, Alfonso the top three, as Ricky is right on the back of Alfonso coming up towards Casino. They're going to be side by side, and Ricky can't quite get around him, but he's going to look to the outside. Alfonso goes deep and squirty there coming through Casino. Ricky in the wall. That will allow Charlie Goff up into P4. Around the outside he goes. Park Pooper and Ozzy right on the back of these. We're looking to try and pounce if they can. You've got Jay ahead of Lightblade and John Boy running just behind Jay and Lightblade. These three have all got ahead of Mike and Connor. Mike Gavin and Connor at the back. In fact, Mike was actually already behind them, but Connor down to the back in the first lap of this race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen some interesting battles. I mean, we will do throughout this race, because we got the grid's reversed. So we got the four guys that were absolutely flying further back. But AVU Alfonso's just lost 2 places coming.
Crash! Yeah, they just came across on each other there, and Alfonso backing into the pack there. What is going on there? As he came together, he initially came together with Ricky, and Ricky's got going. No way!
Wait, who's he taking out?
He took out. It was Ricky that he came together with. It was
John Boy.
Yeah, John Boy got caught up in it, but Ricky was the one who got. It was Ricky who he had the collision with initially, going into the Nouvelle Chicane.
It was AVU Benny Alfonso with Ricky, but AVU Benny reversed into John Boy, and John Boy has dropped off the pack by a few seconds now.
Yeah, the question is, has John Boy got damage on his car? Hopefully not, although saying that, it will certainly add a bit of unpredictability into this race.
Close into these 3 in front. He could actually take the lead here if he can get a good run. As he's getting attacked by Jay here. Is he going to have the inside line up towards Casino Square?
Jay is going to be rubbing his hands together tonight. He said in the game chat in between sessions, and I already said this before, but he confirmed it in the in-game chat between sessions. He said that tonight is all about damage limitation for him. It's not his track at all, and tonight's going to be about making sure that he can keep himself within striking distance. Well, Jay, currently the highest runner of the 3 championship contenders in this race so far. He's got a few seconds back to John Boy. He's got 3 drivers in between them, and Lightblade down in P12 with what we think is also damage. So Jay, all of a sudden, from what's been a damage limitation type of affair tonight, he is now very much in contention for closing that gap to John Boy and Lightblade. So how quickly things can turn here in this Clio Cup at Motive, as he's right on the back of Park Pooper Rex. Park Pooper defending the inside line into the Nouvelle Chicane, but WSRCJ, all of a sudden, things are looking up here a little bit for him.
Yeah, Mike's got ahead of Lightblade here. And Mike is nowhere near John Boy.
Lightblade's got ahead of DJ Phil on this lap.
Yeah, Lightbait's just trying to make his way forwards. Jay's trying to shove it round the outside of Pop Paper X and try and get the cut
he's
back
going to get the cut back here. Beautifully done. Brilliantly done there from Jay. He just managed to suss out Pop Paper X beautifully there. Textbook cut back there as we see Cobb into the pits at the end of lap 3. But that was perfectly executed there from WSRC. Jay timed his throttle input absolutely on the money. And now you can see that Part Pooper's got Aussie really closing on the back of him coming through Saint Devot. 6 of you currently watching the stream, guys, smash the like button if you're enjoying right now. 7 of you watching now. And WSRCJ continuing to try and make his way towards the front. But Smoky Devil, we've barely spoken about him at the moment. He's doing a stellar job out the front at the moment. As we can see, Jay now really close on the back of Charlie. Charlie having a bit of a moment coming through Casino. As now Jay's going to look to the inside into Mirabeau. Is he going to send one down the inside? He is. He goes late on the brakes. Does he get it stopped in time? Bit of a lock-up from Jay. He just about gets it stopped there. And he's now in P2. So Jay is flying.
Definitely. John Boy onto the back of these lot here as well. So he needs to make a move on Aussie and place.
John Boy is making the most of it. Obviously, as we reckon he's got a bit of damage because he did get caught out slightly in the incident between Ricky and Avo Alfonso on the first lap. But he seems to be making the best of it at this point, as John Boy's now within striking distance of Aussie Albie, looking to the inside, a bit too far back to make a move coming into the Nouvelle chicane. But Charlie currently leading this pack of 4 cars here, batting over 4th place, or 3rd place should I say. Jay has broken away from them and is now a 2nd clear, and is now going after Smoky Devil at a rate of knots here. But Smoky Devil's led these first few laps and has just done a solid first few laps. He hasn't really...
He's ahead of Aussie Albie there.
He hasn't got fazed by what's going on behind him. He's just got on with the job and he's just applied himself really well. But yeah, you're right. Aussie Albie down to P6. John Boy can now focus on the podium spots just up ahead of him, as we can see Part Pooper into the pits, and so is John Boy. So Part Pooper and John Boy both coming in at the end of lap 4.
Definitely, when we were getting this mandatory pit stop out of the way.
Lap 5, should I say, not lap 4.
John Boy's pit stop, pit crew weren't ready for him.
Yeah, I know, he was in there for quite a while, 7 or 8 seconds I think it was, so but he's off and away now. But he's lost out quite a bit there to the guys who are around him. So Part Pooper's out, Aussie's out.
Aussie didn't look like he stopped.
I think he might have just got a quick one. We'll find out. Maybe. We'll find out later on. I think, Emma, let us know. Did Aussie Albie stop or did he have a drive-through? But Lightbait's right on the chuff of Avo Alfonso here. As they're battling out of the 6th and 7th places. Both of these two still yet to pit. They've got Aussie Albie only 3 seconds behind them, who has pitted. Cobb came in just now, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh, did he not? He did. Yeah, Emma's confirming in the chat that Aussie Albie did stop, so it was just a very quick pit stop there for Aussie Albie, straight up.
Well, I'm guessing that John didn't request his pit box because those mechanics were not ready for him as he makes a move down on Part Paper X.
Bit of a rash one.
Yeah, slightly there.
But Jay's got the gap down to 0.4 of a second to Smoky Devil, so WSRCJ continuing to carve through this pack like a hot knife through butter tonight here in this feature race. We're currently watching John Boy, who's running in P10 at the moment. He's just he's cleared Papa Rex and he's now pulled out almost 2 seconds to him. So John Boy has really done the bits since the pit stop, but obviously he's running a net long way behind in this race, down to his slow pit stop. And obviously he was involved in a bit of a skirmish earlier on when Avo Alfonso and Connor, Avo Alfonso and Avo Alfonso and help me out. Forgot what he was. Ryan doesn't know either. But who was it Avo Alfonso came together with? I've forgotten already. It was Part Pooper. It was Part Pooper. Ricky, of course it was Ricky. Of course it was Ricky. Why do I keep forgetting Ricky? It's because he's not meant to be. It's because he wasn't going to be racing tonight. That's why. He doesn't usually race in these Clios. Ugh, I'm such a div. Of course it was Ricky. Ricky's still yet to pit. I was looking down the order. I was looking at the bottom of the order thinking, who was it? And then I realised Ricky's obviously yet to pit, so he's running higher than you would think he is, if that makes sense. Smokey, though, has been passed by Jay, and Jay is now in the lead of the race. This is obviously for position, and Jay is he's 18 seconds clear of Cobb, who has been into the pits. Cobb is the highest runner. Is Cobb the highest runner of the pit stop drivers? He is, isn't
he? He definitely is.
So Cobb has obviously came in very early. He's now got ahead of Alfonso. The gap 18 seconds between Jay and Cobb. So I wonder if Jay's got enough of a gap to Cobb to come out in front of him when the pit stops are done. I think it's a short pit lane here, so you don't lose much time from coming into the pits here at Monaco. So it could be quite tight. But Cobb is flying at the moment. He's got the gap down now to 17 seconds. He seems to have the pace right now over Jay and Smokey. But the crucial thing for WSRC Jay is he's now in clean air and can now just pump in the lap times out the front. He can stay out for as long as he wants at this point. He doesn't need to come in soon. He doesn't need to. There's no time constraints on when he can come in and make that pit stop. He simply needs to do it before the last lap, and he's all good. So it's really now down to him. But he's now pulling away a bit from Smokey Devil. We're watching Cobb at the moment running in P7, who's managed to pull out a second and a half of a gap here to Alfonso at this point.
There's no battles that are actually going on other than Aussie making a move here.
Oh yeah.
Boy making a move.
Yeah, side by side coming through into Casino.
A little bit.
Yeah, very close there as he just has to bail out of that one. But John Boy pretty stuck behind Alfonso at this point, looking to the outside, coming into Mirabeau. Alfonso holding the inside line. John Boy can't do it. Can he do it? Oh, great move from John Boy. That is fantastic driving there. Fair play to Alfonso for giving him the space. Aussie squeezes through.
Oh, it's Aussie down the outside.
Aussie Albie squeezes around the inside, turned to the outside, and he couldn't quite do it. Alfonso squeezed into the exit, into the wall, and holds on to the position there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're only 6 racing laps in, and it has been not as intense as the first race, but you never know with all these pit stops and how they go.
Yeah, obviously, we set it up as a longer feature race than usual here, which we're probably going to do for the rest of the season because the guys in the league all say they want to do longer races. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think we should do that as a regular thing. But currently you've got Aussie Alvey here still on the back of Alfonso, but John Boy as well and truly checked out away from these guys, as we saw a big lock up there from all of them. But yeah, John Boy looking like he's pretty set in that position at the moment, as the gap between Jay and Cobb is now staying at around 18 seconds. That is going to be for the net lead, obviously, once Jay comes in to make his pit stop. So just if you're just joining us, Jay, Smokey, Charlie, Mike, Ricky and Lightblade, the top 6 have all still yet to make their pit stop. Cobb downwards have already all been in. But that's the situation, obviously, so that could shake up the order. I think we're expecting that Jay should have the lead when he comes in but it's going to be close at the rate that it's going at the moment. Aussie Alvey there just tagging the wall there coming through Casino. Can't quite make the move on Alfonso. Into Mirabeau they come again. Big lock up there from Aussie Alvey. He's looking to the inside. Can he get the run here on Alfonso, where Alfonso got passed by John Boy on the last lap? No, he can't. Aussie Alvey still looking to the inside, but no gap to form in at the moment. And he's just going to have to tuck in and wait a little bit longer here.
Definitely. I mean, Aussie Alvey is all over the back of you, Benny, and it's such a hard track to overtake. But Alfonso, yeah.
You didn't hear me say that, but I did just whisper his name on the chat.
It's hard for me to remember who's the 2 drivers because they're both got the same start of the name, and it always confuses me.
The great thing about PlayStation Party Chat for comms is that the audio that plays in the streams doesn't pick up whispering, very, very low whispering, so you wouldn't have actually heard that, but I did actually whisper very quietly.
Oh, Smokey's got a
Alfonso.
penalty. With a second.
Yeah. But yeah, at the moment Jay's pulling away from Smokey by quite a bit as well. So Jay looking like he's got the pace here to win this race, but has he got the gap? He's actually pulled away a bit from Cobb. Jay was 2 seconds quicker than Cobb on that last lap. As we said before, that is the battle for the win, and Jay's currently got that momentum here. He's really running with the good luck that he's had over the course of this feature race. We said earlier on, the race leader right now, WSRCJ, it does not like this track at all, and tonight was going to be very much a damage limitation night for him. But in this feature race, he seems like he is just taking his opportunities and running with them. And yeah, he's got a great chance of closing the gap to John Boy and Lightblade, with both of them struggling massively here in this race. John Boy is now on track for a much better position in this race. Could still even be in the hunt for a podium, but Lightblade still yet to pit in this one, and he is a long way behind. But we're currently watching Smokey right now, who is running in P2. He's now a couple of seconds behind WSRCJ, so Jay has definitely got that ascendancy, as we saw a big lock up there from Jay coming through Raskas. But yeah, the race settling down a little bit now here in this feature race. 10 laps into this one, obviously we got 14 still to go, so we're just over a third of the way into this race, about 40% of the race distance completed. The pit stops are still kind of undergoing, so we're not really seeing too much development here at this point. John Boy, I tell you what, has closed up onto Cobb massively. The gap between Cobb and John Boy is nothing. Let's jump onto him actually, Ryan. Cobb and John Boy, because those two are nip and tuck. Let's see them, as we can see there. There's Cobb, there's John Boy coming through your shot. But this is for, I think it's going to be a net P3 at the moment. These guys should probably come out behind Smokey, but they're likely to come out ahead of Mike, and or they'll be quite a way ahead of Mike, to be fair, when Mike comes in to make his pit stop. But this is very tight indeed between these two at the moment, and John Boy will be willing to clear Cobb as soon as he can, because he's currently losing time the more that he stays behind him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, John Boy needs to get the clear air, as we can see him move further ahead of Ricky and Lightblade.
Yeah, Lightblade's struggling with the damage, isn't he? Ricky there looking around the outside of Portier. Lightblade just covered it off. Ricky now looking to the inside, coming through the second part of Portier. As we can see, Lightblade holding it around the outside, would have got a better exit, but Ricky's still there. Lightblade's got to leave him a car's whip here coming through the tunnel, which he does do very observantly there, keeping it there on the outside. Lightblade will now have the inside for the Nouvelle chicane, but here comes Cobb, who has to back out of it there as they come into the braking zone. Now John Boy's looking around the outside of Cobb and makes the move there, John Boy, up into P6. So John Boy's finally done that one, but Cobb will have the inside for to back, and he's going to try and come back at him here, side by side. Cobb there, give him a bit of a bump, coming through to back now. Down the inside goes Cobb and just squeezes back through up into P6 there. Cobb surviving that one by the skin of his teeth. There's Ozzy Albie.
Alfonso's just cut this Nouvelle chicane.
Yeah, gives the position back though, so he concedes the time back. So I suppose no harm, no foul there then.
No, definitely not. I mean, we're just going back to the battle between P for P. Well, in theory P5 now, because Lightblade has just dropped away from Ricky P there. John Boy and Cobb need to make a move here. Cobb needs to start closing up. Cobb and John Boy are the two good drivers that have pitted, and they are in front. And if they can close and move ahead of these two and get a bit of clean air, they could try and close up on the gap with Jay.
Yeah, they definitely could. But we can see now John Boy looking underneath Cobb. Oh, bit of a squirty moment there from John Boy as he was trying to look down the inside. But massive lock up there from Ricky coming into Mirabeau. Down towards those hairpin they come once again. But these guys, Cobb and John Boy, are just losing time behind Ricky at this point. Ricky, I think, a bit of damage after the collision with Alfonso on the first lap. And these guys are obviously on a different strategy. Cobb and John Boy have already been in to the pits to make their mandatory pit stops. Ricky still needs to make his, and Cobb has now cleared Ricky coming through the tunnel. Can John Boy do the same as they come down towards the chicane? John Boy looking to the outside. Is Ricky going to fight this one? No, he doesn't. Ricky wants absolutely none of that, and sensibly, I think, with what's going on around him there, gets well out of the way, and that is now Cobb and John Boy into some clean air. So the net P2 and 3, I think now, or could be net P and 3 or 3 and 4, depending on where Smokey comes out, are now free to fight each other and potentially try and close it on their next port of call, which will be Lightblade, who's currently still yet to pit as well in P4. As we have lost Abo Alfonso, sorry, right?
Yeah, we have. But Ricky's in the pits and he's taking his time. Where will he come out? He should come out behind Connor. No, he should come out ahead of Connor Boylan.
So he's away now. I think he was repairing damage because do you remember on the first lap the crash with Abo Alfonso? I think he's probably repairing that, so that was the reason for the lengthy hold. But he does come out clear of Connor.
Mike having a better rate of obviously making a comeback from not making it into race 1 due to the disconnect. He's into P3 and he is pulled away from Lightblade. But Lightblade has got Cobb and John Boy all over the closing up to the back of him here now.
Yeah, I think that Mike could be in net P5 in this race. He's currently 10 seconds off of the pace, but he still needs to come in. Jay and Smokey also need to come in, but I reckon he'll come out behind Cobb and John Boy. But I reckon Mike is in a net P4 maybe in this race, or no P5. It is P5. He's in a net P5 at the moment, so he's in a solid position right now. Some good points on offer for that. But yeah, Lightblade's going to be under pressure soon. Now, when is Lightblade going to think about pitting? Because obviously he needs to come in at some point. I can't imagine he's got damage, because I would have thought if he had damage he would have come in by now. But then he's not driving like the Lightblade we saw in the first race, so he must have damage. So I don't really know why he hasn't come in to get that damage fixed. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I would have thought it would be a no-brainer in this situation to get that damage fixed.
Did Lightblade already break?
I don't think he has, no. He was about 15 seconds behind.
I don't know what's happening. It's now making it interesting. Freeway battle between Lightblade and Cobb and John Boy.
Let me just double check the stream here. I am 75% sure that Lightblade has not pitted, because he fell behind on the first lap.
Contact!
He fell behind massively on the first lap.
Cobb and John Boy made slight contact there. Cobb took too much curve through the Lowe's hairpin, and John Boy followed him and ended up rear-ending Cobb's there slightly, and so they've now dropped off of Lightblade, but Cobb's now under pressure from John Boy around the outside into the Novo chicane. Is he going to be able to make the light break and get into the corner around the outside and have the inside coming onto the straight? No, he won't. Cobb's just pushed him out slightly and got ahead of him. As Jay's into the pits, Jay's into the pit box. So let's see where Jay will come out compared to Lightblade, Cobb and John Boy.
Ryan, you were right. Lightblade has been in. How did I miss that?
So Jay's stopped and his pitboard's up.
I am such a div. Lightblade is right in the thick of this battle for the win.
Jay's going to be behind. Jay's taken a really long pit stop. I don't know what's happened.
Well, John Boy's already out, but John Boy is behind Lightblade and Cobb.
What's happened to Jay?
I don't know. He's not moving. He hasn't moved. Oh, his pedal's broken? Is he fixing damage? I don't know what's happened to Jay. That is quite a turn up here. So WSRC Jay, his race, he was obviously saying that tonight would be damage limitation. His feature race was seemingly going really swimmingly here tonight, but it has turned to a total nightmare. He's having a Valtteri Bottas style pit stop, and he is now finally away. But he's going to come out in P7. And he's just going to come out ahead of Connor. But
he is so far behind.
What was damage limitation is now going to turn into disaster limitation.
Now it's going to leave John Boy to take the lead if he can get behind Lightblade in the championship.
Well, this is the thing, and I want to apologise to Lightblade and anybody who's here supporting Lightblade tonight. I completely missed that he came in at the end of the second formation lap, which is a bit of a questionable one, but he did it, and it looks like it's at the end of the second formation lap he came in.
Did he?
Yeah. which is a difficult one.
Oh, John Boy Ranny outside, coming into the swim pool chicane.
I mean, it's got him the lead of the race. That has got him track position.
John Boy is now into what would be net P2. So Lightblade is leading the way, and he's got a gap on John Boy. Can John Boy now put the pedal down and start pushing towards Lightblade to take this lead? As Mike's not pitted, and Mike's only 9 seconds ahead of Lightblade.
You've got to feel for WSRCJ here tonight. He looked like this feature race was going his way, and then it has just suddenly got away from him due to a very long pit stop indeed. And he is now down in 7th place, and I don't think anybody other than Mike has got a pit, so he's not going to gain any more places. Even Ricky's been into the pits, so it's literally nobody in front of him needs to come in again, apart from Mike, who is 40 seconds up the road. So Mike will be in and out and long gone by the time that Jay comes around. Jay is currently 6 seconds behind Ricky, so it'd be interesting to see if over the final 8 laps Jay can reel that gap down, or has Ricky got enough of a gap and the legs to hold on to that P6. We're going to find out. But Mike currently leading the race and could be on for a P5, maybe even a P4 here tonight. Possibly a P3, but I think that might be a bit of a stretch. But P4, P5 certainly on the cards for Mike Gaming in this feature race after missing the sprint race earlier on. But your net race leader is currently Lightblade, having done a questionable tactic by coming into the pits at the end of the second formation lap. Nothing written in the rules, nothing set in stone saying you can't do it. But I don't know about you, Ryan. I find it a little bit hard to get with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an absolute struggle for Jay here, because he was only 7 points off the championship. I mean, I made a mistake in the first race and said that John Boy was in P2. It was actually Jay. Jay needed to get 7 points on Lightblade in that first race to be tied on points. Coming into this race, Lightblade was only 1 point ahead of John Boy, and Jay was only 12 points behind Lightblade. So it's now going to drop massively, and Jay will still keep P3 because Mike missed the first race. But if Mike can get P3, 4, he could have a good result here. But Lightblade's dropped down. Lightblade's spun.
Oh no. Lightblade's lost out on the net lead, so that gives John Boy the lead. And John Boy,
John Boy's in the lead now, yeah.
Net lead of this race. But the thing is, John Boy, after his horror show of a start to this race, is now suddenly in a really good position here. So it just goes to show this feature race here at Monaco tonight has gone here, there, and everywhere. And John Boy has been the quickest driver, without a doubt, over the course of tonight here. And in the sprint race, he had a slight advantage over Lightblade. But I'll tell you what, in this one, he has just made it happen. You know, from nowhere, he's never given up. He's kept pushing and kept believing, and he has currently got it now within his grasp. I'm just going to double check that I didn't miss a pit stop from Mike, maybe, or something. You know, like with Lightblade. Pretty sure I didn't.
I haven't seen Mike come in, so Mike should be the only driver that hasn't pitted. But we're not far from the end of this race. We're starting the 18th lap now.
Yeah, so Mike hasn't been in, so he didn't do a sneaky little pit stop there when no one was watching like Lightblade did.
Has left the lobby.
Hold on, Lightblade didn't even come in on the second formation lap. He came in at the end of lap 3. So once again, I'm sorry for my factual misinformation tonight, guys. I don't know what's up with me. I'm struggling to separate fact from fiction tonight.
A correct pit stop then.
It was a correct pit stop. There was nothing at all wrong with it.
Mike's not been in the pits.
Mike hasn't been in the pits. So Lightblade came in during the race proper. He didn't come in at the end of the formation lap. That is a complete and utter. I do apologise, guys. That's my mistake.
So Smokey is now onto the back of these 3 that are net 1 to 3rd. P1 to 3.
Tell you what, tonight's not my night. Tonight is really not my night. I am. I've worked 6 days solid before today, and I've probably got about maybe 10 hours sleep combined. over the last week. So that's my excuse. But
Smokey could get
not
ahead
so
of
well.
Lightblade here because Lightblade's got damage.
Mm.
But with the penalty, he's got what, 1 second penalty?
No.
Yeah, he's got 1 second.
Smokey.
Oh, contact!
Oh, that was silly. That was silly, boys. They moved across on each other there. Big damage there for Lightblade. Massive damage. Smokey's got away with less damage, but lost more ground in that collision. But wow, Lightblade might have to come into the pits to get that repaired because that is clinging on, that front bumper.
Yeah, that's a shame there.
Massive shame. So that's pretty much now put Lightblade pretty much nowhere in the battle with John Boy and Cobb. That also could have given Mike Gaming a podium spot here. In fact, I think it more or less definitely has given Mike Gaming a podium. And in fact, Mike Gaming is lapping faster than John Boy right now. The gap between Mike Gaming and John Boy is 12 seconds. So if he can get it to 15, 16 seconds, Mike Gaming, could he maybe take the win?
That contact was all Lightblade.
Did he move across?
It just didn't give him any room.
Did he just cut him up?
It just squished him into the wall and it ended up just crashing him out.
I wonder if Lightblade's a little bit... If Lightblade's got the stream on Lightblade, I do want to apologise for my misinformation tonight. If that's wound you up, and then I'm sorry, that's my fault, and I do apologise for being a complete and utter clown. I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was my misinformation that was winding him up and caused him to mess up.
So I want to know who's got the fastest lap. Who's got the fastest lap, Andy? I can't see.
The fastest lap of the race is currently actually Mike that's doing the fastest lap of the race. 46 dead. Quicker than John Boy. Mike is the quickest man out there. And he's pulling away from John Boy consistently. So Mike could be in with a shout of jumping him.
Oh, we're missing a bit of battles here. Lightblade went deep. I think he might have just let him through. Mike
could be with a really realistic shout here of jumping John Boy because he's got the gap nearly at 13 seconds. I think it's about a 15-second pit stop here. It's not long at all at Monaco. It's a very short pit lane.
Mike could jump ahead of John Boy and possibly ahead of Cobb.
I think he's done Cobb now. The gap's 16 seconds to Cobb. I think he's done Cobb.
If he's slow or he's at the back, which it possibly is, it could give Smokey P3. Smokey's a bit further away than Cobb.
Michael probably, if he's listening to the stream, then he will know. He will have some idea that there's some kind of issue with the pit lane tonight, and maybe will be playing it safe with his pit strategy. Potentially, he won't be sort of putting the settings on that the settings that we all know about that you can do a fast pit stop with. Maybe he's just a bit wary of selecting those tonight, with Jay having his long pit stop, John Boy not having the best. Lots of drivers losing out in the pit stops, just down to something going on here tonight, which we're not 100% sure what. But Mike at the moment has got the gap nearly at 13 seconds again to John Boy. This part of the lap is where that gap goes up and then it goes down coming through the first sector and the middle part. But at the moment, Mike seems to have a possibility of taking a win here. But definitely, I think he's going to be on the podium. I think we can say that with some level of certainty. Whether or not he can get P2 or possibly even the win remains to be seen. But we've got 4 laps left to go and he's continuing to long it out. I think he's going to leave this until the very last lap before coming in. And look at that, a 45.8 from Mike. He is absolutely on a mission here.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to start seeing this gap increasing. I mean, you only got 3 laps to go. Mike's still got
45.9 John Boy. John Boy's matching him.
Mike's going to have to make a pit stop.
Yeah, he's got to come in over the next 3 laps. I think that's a given. But when he's going to do that, up to him. He can long it out to the very last lap and keep them guessing and keep John Boy under pressure. Because at this point, John Boy is chasing the race. At this point, John Boy's got that psychological feeling of that he's the underdog, even though he's technically probably going to jump him in the pits. But when you're chasing, when you're behind, you feel like you're on the back foot in a way. And Mike will obviously be playing on that psychological advantage that he's got, where he feels like he's got the cards kind of like on his chest, if that makes sense. And he'll be feeling that for sure. But John Boy knows that he's probably within a pit stop of Mike, so he won't be getting too worried at this point. But Mike is still wringing the neck of that Clio. He is getting the best out of it, and he's the only driver tonight who's been able to match John Boy like for like. Lightblade was very consistent in the sprint race and was able to keep him honest, but John Boy has had the pace over everybody tonight, and Mike is now the only driver who is really taking this fight to him. But we're coming round to complete lap 21, and it is still Mike Gaming with a 12-second lead, as it has been for the last few laps. Let's see if he's still in the 1:45 though as he comes over the line. No, slower that time from Mike, a 1:46.8. But I think John Boy also had a bit of a slower lap that time as well. So both of them making mistakes. The gap is now up to 13 seconds between Mike and John Boy. So Mike is continuing to deliver here. 47.2 from John Boy. Mike was 4/10 quicker. If Mike hadn't made a mistake, he would have taken a big chunk out of John Boy's time. He could even be out of that pit stop range if he hadn't have made that mistake and lost a second on that lap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just double checking those gaps, and Smokey's dropped off massively from Cobb, so it will end up probably being John Boy and Mike Cobb if it stays as it is, because Cobb's dropped off of Lightblade of John Boy here, and there's a 5-second gap between Cobb and John Boy. So if Mike's gap is still the same, it will possibly put him in between these two.
Yeah, it certainly will. We're currently watching John Boy coming through Portier at the moment. There is Jay, who is trying to get onto the back of Lightblade. He got ahead of Ricky a couple of laps ago, and he is now sizing up a potential P5 here in this race. Damage limitation, as we said earlier on, for Jay, and he's definitely going to give it some here. Lightblade with big damage on the front of that car, and I imagine is probably going to defend this as much as he can, surely, with the championship battle being like it is. Yes, he is. He's not bending over here for Jay, but Jay around the outside through Mirabeau and gets the inside for low hairpin. That's job done there for WSRC, Jay.
No, it's not.
Well, yeah, Lightblade, he's trying to come back at him, but he can't. He hasn't got the grip to do so. Jay gets it done. John Boy is now still 13 seconds behind Mike. Now, the gap has gone up on this lap. I think that's certain. Now, Mike has got to pit on this lap.
Yeah.
So the gap is now 13.5 seconds. Mike a 46.5, John Boy a 47 dead. This is going to be so close. This is going to be tight as anything. Mike has got P2 in the bag. Cobb has fallen back. Cobb has made a big mistake on the last lap because he is now 26 seconds behind Mike. He was only about 4 or 5 seconds behind John Boy. He's lost about 10 seconds over the last lap. So it was on the last lap. So Cobb is now nowhere. So Mike has got P2 guaranteed. But can he go one better and take P1 on a night where he had to miss the first race due to a disconnection?
Oh, sorry, man. Getting tired. But yeah, possibly. I can see that this.
I'm giving this everything right now.
Because Ricky's got ahead of Lightblade, and Lightblade's race has gone from great to really bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the action right now is keeping me awake because I am shattered. I'm in the same boat as Ryan. We both are. We've been commentating 5 nights a week for the last 3 weeks, and we've got 3 more to go, which we love. We love it. I love it. But
it's
Mike,
good. It's going to be good to see if Mike is when Mike's going to come out of this pit stop.
Yeah, the gap 13.5. That will go up to about 14 seconds. It always does when they come around the last couple of corners. Here we go.
Corner, here he comes.
What is it going to be for Mike? Is it going to be a quick one? I have a feeling it's not because he's left it to the last lap, so I don't think he's going to be changing engine damage. Into the box he goes. How quick are the boys going to get it in and out? There we go. It's a very average pit stop. I think John Boy's going to do it. I think John Boy's got it.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight.
I think John Boy's got it. Yeah, John Boy's going to come around. He's going to take the lead here of the feature race here at Monaco tonight. There is Mike out on the track. It's
He might be
closer
able to
than I
get the
thought
close.
it'd be.
It'd be closer because of the run up the hill.
Oh, it's closer than I thought it would be. It's now within 0.6 of a second, so Mike Gaming could have a run at John Boy on this last lap. John Boy just about keeping what was the net P1. Obviously, Mike Gaming was coming back at him and putting in some blistering times. We all thought John Boy was going to jump him a few laps ago, but Mike Gaming has been flying over the last few laps. Can he throw the kitchen sink at John Boy on this last lap? As we have lost a driver from the race. We have lost, I'll tell you who we've lost. We have lost DJ Phil. DJ Phil is out of the race.
DJ Phil left ages ago, mate.
Oh, sorry, it was somebody else then. Avo Alfonso.
Ricky P's in the pit lane. I wonder if he's.
Avo Alfonso is left. Avo Alfonso out of the race. But nonetheless, let's go back to the battle for the lead here. John Boy and Mike Gaming, half a second separating them. Mike's got to make it happen now because he's not going to be able to make it happen, I think, through the final few corners unless John Boy makes a mistake. Can he try and force him into a mistake? Mike, bit of a lock up into the Nouvelle chicane. Doesn't get the run out of it. John Boy, I think, is just going to park his car in the right places. He's got to keep his head and not get too phased by that red livery in the background as Mike hits the wall coming through to back. Flash the lights there, trying to distract John Boy in the mirrors. I don't think he's going to be able to do so. It's going to come to no avail for Mike Gaming. John Boy is going to come around to take another win here tonight in the Clio Cup season here at Motive, and he is going to take the championship lead from this round. After a difficult start to this feature race, he took the win in the sprint race tonight, did John Boy, and he's going to follow that up with another win tonight. It's going to be a glorious double here in the Principality for John Boy as he comes up towards the line. A flash of lights from our double race winner tonight. Takes the win by the narrowest of margins there. Mike Gaming threw down the gauntlet there in the battle for the win, but couldn't quite do it. And Cobb, I think, is going to come around to take the final podium spot here.
No, he's not!
Is he out of fuel? Hey, he's hit the wall. He's out of fuel. Surely he's out of... No, he's not. What happened there?
4.5 litres. Wait, can he stay within 1 second?
Smokey is just ahead. I think Smokey's got it. Smokey's done it. Smokey Devil out of the last corner has just nicked a podium spot here in this feature race. Cobb, what was he doing coming through those final few corners? I don't know what he was thinking. Smokey there, P3. Cobb takes P4 in the end. And WSRCJ is going to come around to take 5th place here in this one. And considering where he was...
He's going to hold off for P6.
Considering where Jay was earlier on when he had that long pit stop, I think he's done a remarkable job to get up into P5.
Into the last corner. He's not going to have to make a move.
Yeah, Ozzy's going to just cling on there ahead of Charlie Goff. Connor there hit the wall coming through Anthony Noakes and couldn't get there in time. Lightblade is going to come out of the last corner. It's going to be a P9 here for Lightblade, and his championship is going to take a big hit tonight after this. Not the result that he would have wanted at all. Ricky P is going to take P10. I was saying to these boys in the game chat in the practice lobby beforehand, I was saying to them all, tonight could be the night when, you know, one of you ends up losing the championship. And Lightblade's response to me was, you could say the same about any track on this calendar, but I think it's been proven that Monaco can really make a big difference, and it's proved to be a massive chink to the armour tonight of Lightblade and Jay as well. Here. Why is that?
Cobb, wait, is Cobb done a 144.6?
No, 146.4.
Oh, from here it looks 146.
Yeah, Ryan's sat a bit too far away from his screen, so yeah, that is 46.4. Yeah, that's fine. Fastest lap of the race. Also, track limits were on, remember?
Yeah.
So the fastest lap of the race is Mike Gaming. So Mike takes the extra 2 points, which will be some very consolatory solace. Kind of like both being the same thing, but nonetheless, it will be a slight bit of a solace there for Jay and Lightblade. The fact that Mike took the 2 points off of John Boy, but John Boy here doing a magnificent job. Almost a perfect night for him. Very nearly just missed out on the fastest lap here in this feature race he was 0.03 of a second away from a perfect night. But that is that then, guys, for the race here tonight. That's that for round 4 of the Clio Cup here at Motive, races 7 and 8. Make sure you join us next week for the Clio Cup. We'll be back for the penultimate round of the season. Amazing how quickly this season's gone by. We're already over 2/3 of the way through this Clio Cup season. We've got plenty more of action left to be seen over the course of this season, though. And obviously this week, this is week 4 of the season for most of our series, barring the Sprint Championship on ACC, which is 1 round less for the total number of rounds in the season. But the Clio Cup will be back same time, same place. We'll also be live on Wednesday night on ACC for the GT3 Endurance Championship here on the PS4. That will be live at 7 p.m. BST, that's UK time, and we'll be at the Nürburgring for that one in 2 nights' time. Following on from that, we'll be back on Thursday for the Touring Car Championship on Project Cars 2. And we will be at Brands Hatch on the GP circuit for that one. Following on that, from that, we'll be back on Friday night at 9 p.m. BST, that's UK time, for the GT5 Ginetta Cup, and that will be on at Indianapolis Road Course. That will be at, as I said, 9 p.m. BST. Back on Sunday for the GT3 Sprint Championship, and for that one, we will be going to Monza. So that's going to be an exciting one. Monza for the GT3 Sprint Championship on a Sunday night. Then the Clio Cup will be back once again. We'll be live here, same place, same time, for this very series, which we've just seen a fantastic event of. We will be back for the penultimate round at the Red Bull National. So yeah, join us once again, guys, for that next week. But that's it. That's a wrap for tonight. What a night. And yeah, hope to see you soon on Wednesday. But if not, we'll see you on Thursday for the touring cars.